So the Pittsburgh Steelers, they decided to go after Justin Fields, and they got a deal done with the Chicago Bears in exchange for a conditional 6th-round pick, which happens to be a 4th-round pick if he plays at least 51% of the team snap. But what's interesting is that they just signed Russell Wilson to a 1-year minimum deal, and he's guaranteed to be the starter, and that's coming from head coach Mike Tomlin and the Steelers. So Justin Fields will likely be a backup, and that explains why the team eventually traded Kenny Pickett, as he was upset about the situation. And Pittsburgh overall did not like how he handled the situation, and eventually he got traded to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now what's interesting is that what is the long-term plan for the Steelers? They made the playoffs, but once again got bounced out in the first round this past season, and eventually they made a drastic change within the quarterback position. But they also made some changes at the offensive coordinator spot, as midway through the year they decided to move on from Matt Canada and eventually replaced him with Arthur Smith. And just right after, they signed Russell Wilson, traded away Pickett, and bring in Fields. But the team will have to make a decision on his 5th-year option, and it will be a costly $25 million move. And based on that amount, and knowing that they only gave up a 6th-round pick, they will likely decline it. And Russell Wilson's on a 1-year minimum deal, and they barely made the playoffs in a tough division, with Baltimore getting the #1 seed and Cleveland making the playoffs despite going through a carousel of quarterbacks. And the Bengals, who were the team to beat previously, they were missing out on Joe Burrow being hurt for the majority of the year. So from a talent perspective, is Pittsburgh the worst team in that division? And if so, what's the next move they should be making? It will not be surprising to see if they decide to trade up within next year's draft class, knowing that they're going to get extra picks from the Kenny Pickett trade, and they view Fields as a backup, so he's going to be a short-term option. And on top of that, Russell Wilson, he's getting older. His peak years are behind him, and he has been declining over the past couple of years, especially ever since he got traded from the Seattle Seahawks, as Wilson is currently 35 years old and will be 36 midway through next season. And not to mention, they traded away Deontay Johnson, who's one of their top receivers. So it will be interesting to see what's going to happen moving forward within the Steelers. But it will not be surprising to see if the 2 quarterbacks that they brought in do not meet expectations, they eventually move on from both of them. And within the next year, we're going to see a new starting quarterback leading the team, likely going to be a trade up within the top 5 and selecting their top quarterback. And based on next year, it could be either a Shedeur Sanders, Jalen Milroe, or even a Carson Beck. That's all for now, you guys. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with others, as I'll see you guys next time.